back with another video. It's on Team 3D Alpha, because somebody asked me, hey man, you know Megan from Team 3D Alpha, can you make a video on him? Well, I haven't really made a video on him in a long time, because I don't know, his stuff is really weird, But anyways, he's another guy that hasn't really quite figured it out. He's all over the place. But let's review this video, and I'm going to use science. He's going to use science, and I'm going to use science as well to rebut what he says.
Hey guys, what's going on? Megan here. 20 proven ways to reduce muscle soreness and recover faster from workouts based on science and...
So reduce muscle soreness and recover faster from workouts. So your whole premise, so his whole ideology is to recover faster so that you can come back and chronically keep lifting like an endurance athlete, basically. That's what he's saying here. The use of recovery methods post-exercise. So you're exercising, but building real muscle isn't based on exercise at all whatsoever. It's not about exercising. Exercise will make you better at doing things. You understand me? Get you better at doing that. In other words, if you chronically exercise at something, there are some adaptations there, but they aren't particularly the adaptations maybe what you're looking for. In other words, if you're chronically lifting, number one, you're not building any real muscle. If you're chronically lifting in a gym now, you're an endurance athlete lifting a weight. So your body will compensate you with myocytic androgen receptors for that force production, but there isn't any more growth because M&D size reached a ceiling limit after your newbie gains. And so you're glycogen loading, you're getting something called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is an energy source ATP to further this, whatever it is you're doing, this exercising, recovering and exercising, lifting in the gym. You want to get better at lifting weights, which is really weird. I don't know, but anyway, okay.
With 20 years of experience, let's go. Sleeping at least 8 to 10 hours a day.
20 years of experience. Okay, he just flashed a whole bunch of things here. I can't catch him that fast. How does sleep help recover from exercise-induced muscle injuries? Notice how he flashed that so fast. I had to click there. Muscle-induced injuries. Are you getting muscle-induced injuries? I like the information he pops up from NCBI. I have some of these. I had them on my old channel. I should put these back up as well. But okay.
Hey, that's obviously mandatory.
Okay, here's another one. He keeps flashing them so quickly. The value of sleep on athletic performance, and here we go again. Injury and recovery in the young athlete. The question is, are you getting injured? Are you getting injury? Listen to what he says, injuries. Are you getting injured in there? What type of injury is this?
There's no debate about
Sleep and recovery sport, current sleep related issues facing professional team sport athletes. There was another one he brought up here in the beginning. I have to watch this again.
Hey guys, what's going on? Megan here. 20 proof.
Okay, so biomarkers, sports, exercise, tracking, health, performance, and recovery athletes.
Ways to reduce muscle soreness and recover faster from workouts based on science and over 20.
There we go. The use of recovery methods okay, we saw that one.
Years of experience. Let's go. Sleeping at least 8 to 10 hours. Hey guys, what's going on? Megan here. 20.
Fucking man, he goes too fast. You can't read these. He just keeps flashing these.
Proven ways to reduce muscle soreness and recover faster from workouts based on science and over 20 years of experience.
That's the one. Exercise-induced muscle damage. Mechanism, assessment, and nutritional factors and accelerated recovery. All right, I can debunk this really quickly. So this muscle damage stuff that you all are talking about, this muscle damage stuff here, hold on a second, where is this? Fuck, did I just get rid of this, man? I thought I had it up there. I don't know. It was there a minute ago. I don't know. Fuck, man. I had them all lined up and now it's gone. Okay. Hold on a second. So here's the muscle damage part. So recent advancements in understanding the repeated bout effect. The protective effect against muscle damage from a single bout of eccentric exercise. Repeated bout effect refers to the adaptation whereby a single bout of eccentric exercise protects muscle damage from subsequent eccentric bouts, protects against muscle damage from eccentric bouts. So there's no more damage. You're not getting damaged anymore. It's protected when you go in there after the first time.
Let's go. Sleep.
So there you go. Debunk that.
At least 8 to 10 hours a day. That's obviously.
He talks about injuries and injuries here. I don't know.
Mandatory. There's no debate.
Are you all getting injured? Sleep to recovery. It's a good one too. Yeah.
About it, guys. If you don't get enough sleep, every single pathway involved in recovery is gonna suck.
I don't even think he understands these reports that he's popping up, because he doesn't talk about them. He just kept flashing them, sleeping, recovery, and all that. Did he explain what that injury part was? It said in there? Not really, didn't he?
Suffer. Your testosterone is gonna suffer. Your insulin sensitivity is gonna suffer. It's gonna take a long time to recover from muscle.
Look how fast he keeps flashing these. How do you expect to read these? It's going to take you a long time to recover. This, I can't even understand what the fuck he's saying. Sleep, what is this? Restriction, testosterone levels, young men, healthy men. He needs to take his time and speak.
Damage. Your cortisol is going to be upregulated.
Damage? What damage from what? What cortisol is going to be regulated? What are you talking about?
Your thyroid function is going to suffer. So that's...
Yeah, all of this is functioning because you're destroying yourself. Labor, physical things on your body destroys your body. So exercise is unhealthy. We already know that. Accelerates aging, it destroys you. The relationship between thyroid function tests and the quality of cross-sectional study. I have no idea.
Low T3, high reverse T3. I could go on and on. Sleep.
What about T3? What about all these things? What are you talking about? A single night of partial sleep deprivation induces insulin resistance in multiple metabolic pathways in healthy subjects. Okay, and so what?
Comes first. Next, eating enough carbs, a high carb diet. I'm going to put that in.
You shouldn't eat any carbohydrates whatsoever, because it's not your diet. Your diet, you make ketones. Even as a child, when you're a child, you make ketones. You understand me? Your body will produce glucose if necessary. You don't need that. You don't run good on carbohydrates. You run better on a high fat, animal fat and protein nutrient diet. Trust me, a human body runs much better on that. Just like a Ferrari runs better on the most premium gas than the regular garbage. It'll conk out and destroy the car.
Crucial. It's not mandatory to recover, but
mandatory. Carb conscious and role of hydro intake and recovery. Yeah, that's it, because you're an endurance athlete. So you're recovering with carbs because you're an endurance lifter now. See, this is the reason why you're eating this.
It is definitely crucial. Guys, you got to replenish those glycogen stores immediately.
You have to replenish those glycogen stores immediately, guys. Want to know why? Because you're all trained athletes. See, muscle fiber hypertrophy is 6 weeks higher volume resistance training in trained young men is largely attributed to what? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. What's hypertrophy? You're hypertrophying, get it? Through sarcoplasmic. It's glycogen. See that? It says right here. See that right there? Here, I'll bring it up there. Glycogen. See that? Mitochondria and glycogen. It's glycogen stores ATP. It's an energy source. It makes up the cytoplasm. Just for the visual effect you get in blowing up and getting bigger. But if you didn't have that, then this cytoplasm wouldn't build up in there if you didn't eat that. Your liver doesn't make that amount of carbohydrate, that sugar, the ketones to blow you up like that. It will produce some, but not a lot. That's why people are leaner on carnivore diets. They look really lean and muscular and great. Anyways.
Immediately after training, especially if you plan to train the next day or...
See, recovery, immune system. If you plan on training the next day, right away you're training. You're chronically training. You're like a runner, a swimmer, whatever. You're an endurance athlete.
The upcoming 2 days. Remember, guys, after training...
And you're getting good at your craft, lifting a heavy weight. You're getting adaptations there.
Right after training, there's a 2-hour window where glycogen...
There's a 2-hour window. See, he's hammering with the glycogen again. It's all the phony glycogen because you can't build muscle because your muscle has reached a myonuclear domain size limit. All of you probably don't know this, but you have a myonuclear domain size limit where MND size has a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process beyond which extranuclei are donated by satellite cell to support what? Further muscle growth. So that's dead. And how does that happen? Well, it happens in here in your nuclei overload training. What he loves that nuclei overload training bullshit. This is nuclear overload training. There you go. Untrained, first train, satellite cell fusion, boom, hypertrophy, and then you detrain, retrain, atrophy. Why? Because they reached the myonuclear domain size limit. Reach the limit, hypertrophic process. Can't build anymore. Gets these nuclei, that's it. That's the end of that. Okay, boom. See how easy that was to destroy this guy?
Replenishment is maximized in terms of...
Yes, maximize that, replenish. You got to replenish those glycogen stores because remember, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and train young men. That's you all trained, bro, because you are now an endurance athlete, lifting weights in the gym. You're endurance.
The speed of replenishment.
You are endurance training. That's why people come in, they're like, I'm burning calories. I need to restore my glycogen stores. They're never talking about protein and stuff. They talk about a little bit of protein, but they're more about recovery and hitting it again. Yeah. Just like wearing yourself out like factory workers. I'm hitting it again in the factory today. Got to go back. I got to restore my glycogen loads because I got to work again at the factory tomorrow.
After that, you still replenish glycogen, but not as fast as in that first 2-hour window.
In that first 2-hour window, definitely you're restoring these glycogen stores. Your body can absorb a lot of glycogen. You'd be surprised. You could absorb pounds. I'm talking kilos, bro. It's crazy how big you can get. With these artificial muscles, you could build these crazy sarcoplasmic artificial muscles.
Studies on this. So make sure you not only eat a post-workout.
Oh, don't know what that is? Artificial muscles? Oh, don't believe me, sarcoplasmic, do you? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, man. So, yeah, hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring this up. Good Christ. So sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is artificial muscle growth. See that? It's kind of artificial muscle growth, broski. Yeah. So prove that. Next.
Got meal high in carbs after training, but
it's not hard to show you what's really going on there, but you just don't get it.
You also want to make sure you eat a high carb diet overall. Next, getting your health.
You want to eat a high carb diet because you are an endurance trainer. You're not building muscle. Muscle reaches the myonuclear domain size limit. Takes on a secondary shift called sarcoplasmic because you're a chronic lifter. Chronic lifting can't damage muscles, the type 2 muscles anymore. They shift into type 1. And now you're type 1, you're an endurance athlete. And so the glycogen loads rapidly into those muscles, boom, and bigger than last time. You get these phony muscles, but they're based on glycogen loading. Like a runner, like a swimmer, they glycogen load, they need this energy and whatever. But in bodybuilding, you just get the pump. You call it, I get the pump. You're pumping and you get inflammatory response, you get some fucking lactic acid buildup, maybe blood flow restriction, all this garbage, phony muscles in there. Get it, man? Yeah, it's all phony shit.
Fat, so that includes your monounsaturated fats, your saturated fats, your omega-3s. That is mandatory. That's one of the most underrated aspects of recovery. You guys just...
Yes, it's mandatory for recovery, so you can come back and wear yourself out faster, and they'll accelerate aging faster than the last time. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Don't eat enough healthy fats. Fats are needed to increase vitamin absorption, especially...
Yeah, you definitely need animal fat. It's the best for you. Your cells are made out of cholesterol, this, that. It has vitamin D in it and minerals and vitamins. That's why McDonald's stopped using tallow, beef tallow, and lard. They started using seed oils, and that's why the food tastes like shit and you feel unhealthy when you eat it. Used to be kind of healthy with those fats.
The fat-soluble vitamins. Fats are needed, obviously, for testosterone production and other hormones. Fats are needed to rebuild the cell membrane of your tissues, which are obviously destroyed during training. And not to mention, fats are also needed to modulate inflammation, right? So get your avocados, get your nuts.
Yeah. Diets, low testosterone, man, systematic meta-analysis. Boom, boom, boom. He just keeps throwing this information back and forth. Look, man. You definitely need a high-fat animal diet. That's for sure. That's what you really need. You don't need sugar or carbs or anything like that.
Pause. Get your egg yolks. Get all of the good fats, especially your omega-3s. So get your fatty fish as well. Next, failure management.
You're not building any muscle, so you're just wasting your time. If you just want to build these super stupid sarcoplasmic muscles, eat bowls of potatoes. It's going to cost you nothing. You'll save a lot of money. Eating for no reason. That you can't build muscle. What's the point?
So that's making sure that you don't go to complete failure. That's RPE 10, RIR 0 on every single lift. I'm going to put that in.
See, you got to go all the way to failure. to build a muscle?
It depends. If you go to failure on lateral raises, bicep curls, tricep extensions, that's fine, right? That's not going to hurt recovery too much. But if you always go into failure on squats, on deadlifts, on bench press and rows, guys, that's going to take you even longer to recover. Now, keep in mind, you have to train close to failure to maximize muscle growth. I made so many videos about this in the past. But
see, you have to train to failure to maximize muscle growth. But he didn't tell you what type of muscle growth is it. And I'll tell you what type it is. It's sarcoplasmic, like you just saw there in that report I popped up. It's sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. That's the muscle you're building. It's an artificial muscle, kind of artificial muscle growth. Get it, man?
I always recommend that you use an RPE of 7 to 9, meaning
that's why he said eat all those carbohydrates.
Always leave 1 to 3 reps in the tank, depending.
It may be subconscious. He doesn't realize that, but he's like, eat carbs. You got a carb load right away. It's 2-hour window. He didn't say anything about protein. So you're building sarcoplasmic muscles
on the lift, right? Because going to complete failure, yes, that last rep is going to stimulate so much more muscle growth, but it's all.
See, that last rep is going to stimulate so much more of this muscle growth through glycogen, the phony muscles. Yeah, the artificial muscle growth, definitely is going to do that.
Also going to cause a lot more fatigue and a lot more damage. So again, I put it.
A lot more fatigue and a lot more oxidative and hypoxia damage. Fuck, that really sucks, doesn't it?
It depends because it depends on the person. It depends on whether you're natural or not. It depends on your recovery management.
Depends on your recovery. It depends if you're natural, recovery, this, that. Nah, man. It depends on the training, what you're training for. Every training modality is different what you're training for. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Yeah. I don't know what he's training for. It appears that it's sarcoplasmic. Everything that he says, it's training for sarcoplasmic. Maybe he doesn't realize that.
And obviously, it depends on the exercise, right? Going to complete failure on squats is not the same as going to complete failure.
I like when he said damage. There's no more damage because it's protected by repeated butt effect. There ain't no more damage there. We're talking
on freaking neck curls or lateral raises. Next, taking the.
That's why it goes into type 1. It goes into type 1 because there's no more damage because you're trained. You keep coming in. And so if it's in type 1, that's an endurance type of muscle fiber, slow twitch muscle endurance. So you're loading glycogen. You're training, you're an endurance athlete now because you're chronically coming in. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? Yeah. I think people don't realize what these muscle groups do, like type 2, type 1. How exactly do they work in the hybrid fibers? What type of training do you need to do to get real muscle growth? Well, we know that protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown to build a muscle. But also needs to be a net zero to maintain it. But this whole glycogen thing, what he just keeps saying, like, I'm telling you, the trainings are totally different. And so people in their head, they don't understand it. So to them, it needs to look good. The training needs to look good. If it doesn't look good to them, they will sway away from it because that's not what they're looking for. You understand me? They associate like things like DOMS. If you get a DOMS, a delayed onset soreness, and it lasts 2, 3, 4 days, they associate that with being something bad. That's like he said, the soreness and everything. You need to recover faster. You need to get out of any kind of soreness or anything, even a soreness after your workout. Now, I'm not talking about soreness after your workout is shit, but something that is delayed can be something. It can be something good. But these guys, him, associate with something being bad. And so he wants you to just be like, you need to feel good. Your workouts need to feel good. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I need to eat food that tastes really good, but it's really bad for my health. But the food that doesn't taste so great is the best for my health. But it's not appealing. You understand me? It's not appealing to eat good food because you're a slave and you've been trained to eat shit. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? You've been trained like a slave going to a gym to lift. You're a lifting slave, a gym slave to do these practices like the way they want it, and gotta look good and presentation and all this. When in fact, it doesn't look good trying to build real muscles. It doesn't look good trying to build real health, like promote real health and be healthy. It doesn't look appealing to people. The first thing they do is, what is this guy eating raw meat and all these raw organs and everything, blood and everything? Ew, I gotta eat chips and tasty foods and sugar all day and all that. Well, they may look better doing these things and the cuisines and everything, these like overfeeding and malnourished. You're overfeeding and you're undernourished. Well, overfeeding and undernourished is kind of like, it's kind of redundant what you're trying to do. Oh, but I look good though doing it. See what I mean? It's like going to McDonald's with your friends and everybody orders the Coke. You do order a Big Mac. You stay away from the fries, but you just order the Big Mac and you ask them for a cup of water, and all the friends are looking at you. Hey, why aren't you destroying yourself with us? You know what I mean? It's a group thing, bro. Hello.
Very cold shower, right, or ice bath. I'm gonna put that in. It depends as well.
Why would
if your
you,
goal is
muscle damage? He says muscle damage. There's no damage unless it's hypoxia, oxidative. There's many damages that can happen to tissue and body. There could be toxins. Your food is toxic. It's damaging you, and you're working through it. Look, man, I don't know. Like what this guy's talking about. Ice baths are bad. Anything that stresses you, ages you. It could cause disease. Your body doesn't like these things. Stop doing this. It's destroying it. It accelerates aging. The defense mechanisms come on. That's what happens. So this is all ridiculous stuff.
hypertrophy, I do not recommend that you take very cold showers or ice baths right after the gym, right? Because you're gonna blunt the hypertrophy response, and you're gonna.
Well, if you did it, well, what happens is you will suppress the inflammatory response. You're putting coldness on it. That's really bad. That's terrible. Sorry about that. I don't know who's calling. It's a fake number. So yeah, these things can be very, very, very bad for you, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Lower inflammation way too much, right? Remember, there's an inverted U curve to everything. You don't want to lower inflammation. Proteins involved in inflammatory response are also involved in hypertrophy, right?
Well, yeah, it's gonna dump your how should I put this? It's going to the inflammatory response goes down. It's going to fuck you up, man, because your body won't be able to heal.
So there's a difference between good inflammation and bad inflammation. And the problem with cold showers, if you do them after the gym, is they're gonna blunt the quote-unquote good inflammation. Now, before the gym, absolutely. You guys know I'm a big proponent of cold showers. You get your nervous system fired up to spike your dopamine, your norepinephrine, gives you a ton of energy, absolutely before the gym. But after the gym, I do not recommend it if your goal is muscle growth. Next, stress management. Referring to chronic mental stress, right? I'm gonna put that at crucial. For obvious reasons, you do not want to be under a lot of mental stress while you're in a recovery phase, because your sympathetic nervous system is always going to be fired up, meaning high cortisol, high catecholamines, and that is counterproductive, right? You want your parasympathetic nervous system to be activated when you're trying to recover, right? So you want to relax, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to watch comedy, you want to just have a good time, right? Give your body a chance to rest, digest, right? So I don't care if you got to meditate, I don't care if you got to do
I have no idea what this guy's talking about. This is just ridiculous shit.
yoga, anything that lowers chronic mental
Whatever.
system state. Next, sauna.
Saunas and hot baths and all these things. More stress. It's bad for your body. Age you. Accelerated aging. This is just garbage.
Put that in. It depends, right? Once again, the and its byproduct, which is betaine. Guys, you gotta have
Antibiotics, nutrients. Plants have no antioxidants. Nothing. They don't work in humans. Okay, it's just animal stuff that you need.
a micronutrient-rich diet.
Yes,
Supplements is a backup plan.
Micronutrients in meat. What am I
That's
talking
eating
about?
enough calories, right? So not under eating.
Enough calories. You don't. Your cells don't want calories. They want nutrients, micronutrients. They don't want calories.
Not being in a huge caloric deficit for you. Next, foam rolling or massages. I'm gonna put that in it depends, right? Because again, obviously it depends on the body part, right? Because that's only gonna help you with soreness and increasing blood flow to the area, which obviously is important, but it's not
What kind of soreness?
gonna do a lot for reducing
What blood flow?
different functions. That the last thing you wanted to do is to stop doing what is a very light walk. Next, anything that increases blood flow to the muscle that you trained, I'm gonna put that in mandatory, right? For the reasons I explained earlier.
Ebo, I don't understand
Next,
it.
supplements. I'm gonna put that in not that important. You guys
Supplements are garbage. They're synthetic.
already know on this channel. Next, avoiding junk food. Crucial.
Junk food. Why would you eat fake food? Again, you're looking good, right? It's the whole part about looking good again, looking cool.
For obvious reasons, right? Junk food is gonna
They're
miss workouts.
anti-nutrient.
Next, getting enough
They're an anti-nutrient. They got oxalates and shit, whatever.
sunlight. That's obviously crucial. Not
You need sunlight. That's definitely for sure.
only for fixing your sleep effects. Next, eating enough protein. Mandatory, and that's high quality protein, mostly animal protein, right? Again, protein synthesis requires protein.
Yeah, animal protein synthesis. And what? You're just turning over. You're not building any more muscle. There's no protein synthesis without nuclei. Sorry, man.
Methylation. mTOR reset, obviously in crucial. If you watch my videos, you already know why. It is very important that you take
That is really strange. I don't know. Repaired and interrupted resistance exercise, demonization, sanitization. Skeletal muscle fibers. Yeah, I don't know. This makes no sense.
breaks from the gym, guys. I'm not talking about deloading. Your immune system is, and if your immune system is
Exercise and immune function, recent developments. What about it? What about it? Your immune system is fine.
So busy fighting a bunch of BS, and that's obviously going
Yeah, it's fighting all the bad things you're doing to it.
to take away from the resources needed. Garbage if your testosterone levels, or to be specific, your net androgen.
Your testosterone doesn't build muscle. You know what you're talking about. Man, progenitor cells build muscle, and it's not building anyways. It's protein and progenitors and things. Testosterone's a sex hormone, gives you force production. It has nothing to do with that. It'll help load more glycogen in your muscle. That's for sure. That's all that will do. It can't bypass myonuclear domain size limit. Testosterone, man. I'll see you in the next one. Tell you what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Team 3D Alpha. It's some more debunking more of this garbage, man. It gets tiring doing this. I hate watching these things. I'm just done with this. See you in the next one. Ciao. It's a lifting slave, bro. That's it.